We got a whole bunch of tidbits and hints that I think has allowed us to pinpoint a possible time and date that the next Crash game is actually going to be announced. Let's talk about it.
Whoa!
What's up guys, Canadian Guy here and back with a brand new video. So this is going to be a long one and I am going to have to split this into two parts because of everything that we have to cover. So make sure to subscribe and tune in tomorrow for the next video. But in the end, I think that we can determine not only when Crash will be announced, but even where as well. There is a lot to cover because we are rewinding all the way back to March 2020 and we're making our way to present day. So first off, let's start with the concept of us being close to the announcement. There has been very subtle hints coming out from multiple sources since March that when seen by itself means nothing, but when seen together and in context, it begins to paint a picture. So let's start from the smallest points and build our way up to the biggest hints. First off, since the beginning of March, big and verified publications and accounts over on Twitter have randomly been tweeting about Crash Bandicoot, whether it be a question, a joke post, or whatever. Now, Crash Bandicoot posts did happen before from time to time, but suddenly many and different large Twitter pages just started posting about Crash Bandicoot for some reason, and it's kind of strange. Now, also since the beginning of March, we have been seeing sales place across every Crash Bandicoot product, CTR, Crash Bandicoot Insane, etc., with sales that we have never seen before in terms of how much is discounted, as in discounts for the games that we've never seen before. But this was not only in North America, but across the world in terms of PlayStation, like PlayStation France or even PlayStation Poland. Now, of course, this could be attributed to the pandemic, which is what I initially thought. But there is something else very interesting that caught my attention. It's the fact that every single one of these major sales all are on the PlayStation Store and have the PlayStation branding. Now, the only time Crash Team Racing was on sale outside of PlayStation was in a generalized Activision sale over on Xbox, but Crash did not have the spotlight like PlayStation has been placing on him. Now, this is interesting because Crash, though is most popular on PlayStation, is a third-party game, and its 1 year of marketing exclusivity that was contracted between Sony and Activision is up for both CTR and the Insane trilogy, and yet we keep seeing that push for PlayStation sales. Now, this detail is going to swing back later on because there is a deep importance here, so remember this. So through March and April, multiple large Twitter accounts just started tweeting about Crash, and sales for both Crash Team Racing and Crash Insane have been found everywhere. But that's all digital. Let's get more physical with merch. If you have been subscribed since 2017, first off, thank you for your support for so long. But you would also remember that when the Spyro hype started to drum up, the first pieces of solid evidence was merch. First, it was the first four figures with their resin Spyro. Then Hot Topic and Box Lunch's vintage Spyro t-shirts, which was what really started the wheels turning for the fan base. Because why would you be releasing new merch for a game that didn't have any relevance in the current market, especially from Activision? Do you see any Pitfall t-shirts? I certainly don't. Then, lo and behold, in April 2018, Spyro Reignited was announced. Well, out of the blue, brand spanking new Crash Bandicoot merch has been seen and has started to pop up from multiple retail sites, like new t-shirts and even plushies. Heck, ever wanted to drink out of a fist? Yeah, you heard me right. Have you ever wanted to drink from a fist? Well, an odd and new Crash Bandicoot fist mug has popped up. It's literally Crash's fist. This is real, ladies and gentlemen. Get ready to be the fist to order this mug. I gotta hand it to them for this design. Thumbs up. I'll stop now. Now, these plushes and fisticuff mug, which are questionable in terms of quality and look, actually has a hint to them that is very interesting. See, here's the thing. The branding of these new pieces of merch is Crash Bandicoot. But why is that important? That seems really obvious, right? Actually, it isn't. See, when we got merch for Crash Team Racing, it was branded as CTR nitro-fueled and not Crash Bandicoot. All pieces of quote-unquote official Crash Bandicoot merch that came out around the time of CTR was actually branded as Crash Team Racing. But with these new pieces of merch popping up, they are all labeled as Crash Bandicoot. Now, officially, there has not been a mainline Crash Bandicoot game in 2 years. So why are we suddenly getting a refresh of Crash Bandicoot exclusive merch when CTR is the most recent and prevalent game? Again, remember how we were getting Spyro merch before Spyro was actually announced? It seems to be happening again, except with the new Crash game. Now, there is one piece of specific merch that was teased by a company that has been partnered with Activision for quite a while, Numbskulls. Numbskulls creates merch for a whole bunch of different publishers and developers, but one of their biggest hits has always been with Crash and Spyro. Sometimes, Numbskulls releases a tease to a brand new piece of merch in the pipeline that gets people excited and hypes them up, but they only show a small piece of it and ask people what they think it is. Well, recently they released a tease for a new product. They say, quote, "We're always working on new ideas behind the scenes. Have a guess. What do you think this could be?" Now, here's the thing. A blind person could tell you that this is Crash Bandicoot. It's so blatantly obvious. But why is Crash's design so hidden? Also, whatever this product is, we can see a bomb. But again, this is more in connection to CTR than Crash Bandicoot. But judging by the giant logo that says Crash Bandicoot, this is not a CTR related project. And what in the heck does a sword have to do with either Crash or CTR? The Komodo bros have swords, but they don't really look like this. There is a lot of questions here. Now here's the thing. The whole point of all this merch is to point to the concept that something new in the Crash Bandicoot line of thinking is coming. And it's not Crash Team Racing nitro-fueled related. But there is another thread that we have to follow. See, the interesting Crash plushies actually have a release date to when they can be ordered, May 29th, 2020. The reason why this is important is because it ties into one of the biggest announcements that we had in the past week, Summer Gaming Fest. Now, the Summer Gaming Fest is a gaming collaboration done by many publishers and developers and is organized by the Game Awards lead, Jeff Keighley. Basically, instead of there being some dry months and weeks and then all of a sudden everything gets randomly stacked in a specific month or week, GameFest organizes all these publishers and developers to release their content at a specific time so that all the games can shine on their own and not overwhelm the internet or each other. This has essentially become the new E3 for this year due to the pandemic. The Summer Gaming Fest released a schedule that they have titled Phase 1. Of all the publishers and developers that will be showing off content between the months of May and August. More phases are to come. But these are huge AAA studios, and even console developers are on this list that has the entire internet buzzing. But I want you to turn your focus to only two of them. We can see right at the top that Activision will be showing off some content for the future, which of course is a huge red flag for any Crash fan, because obviously Activision is the publisher for Crash Bandicoot. The other red flag to focus on is the little PlayStation logo down here. This also could be something huge because PlayStation would likely have marketing rights once again, like they have with every other Crash game, for this new one. But again, the Crash Bandicoot plush merch release date was May 29th, which falls in line with the dates that have been set by the Summer Game Fest. That could mean that the next Crash game might be announced around that time. So, is that it? Is May 29th the day? Is that the day that we're going to see Crash Bandicoot come back in his full glory? Actually, I don't think so. I do think it is close, but there is even more factors that have to be considered for this theory and prediction. But those are going to be covered and saved for part 2 of the video, which I should be releasing tomorrow. Make sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all things Crash, Spyro, and anything nostalgic.
A huge thank you to all those who support the channel through Patreon and being a sponsor on the channel. If you'd like to help it out, check out the links in the description below, where you can buy some CGE merch or become a Patreon. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe for more gaming and nostalgic content. Thank you so much everyone, and I'll see you guys in the next video.